And welcome to episode 8, and the time is finally here that we can make sure that our guy doesn't drown, even though he is a little bit of a diamond. We're looking at collision detection. Enjoy! Hi, I'm Chris Gilpin, and this is episode 8. So we finally got here. If we load it up, no longer, if I move it across, no longer do we have to endure him going into the sea, whatever he is, some sort of kite thing, whatever. Okay, so that's what we're looking at doing today, is getting rid of that sort of non-restriction movement. Okay, let's get started. So the main problem we have is in our event editor, this will just accept everything and it will let everything through. Now, we want to be able to build on this. And so this is a good opportunity for us to use what I showed you last video, the group of events. And we're going to say check movement for our group of events. And we're going to put this in here. Now, one of the brilliant things about these groups is you can add new conditions for each group. So I don't have to go to the bottom of the thing and then create an event down there, or I don't have to right click and insert event. It has a nice little box here just allowing me to put a new condition in. Now, part of the problem with this at the moment is this will trigger the move X or move Y, and then that will automatically trigger the going right, going left, going up, going down event. So we need this to happen after we've checked it. Okay, now this is a great opportunity to introduce you, if you don't already know, to fast loops. Now, fast loops are amazing. They exist in every programming language, and they basically allow you to do things repeatedly, once, twice, 3 times, 4 times, a billion times. You can do the same task over and over again. Now, for my first sort of 3 or 4 years of using Click and Play and the predecessors to Clickteam Fusion 2.5, I didn't know about fast loops. They scared me, they seemed too complicated. And they're not at all. You just have to know how to use them, and it's dead easy. So, what I want is to create a loop that goes through and checks all the things, and then allows us to do this if we're happy with the result. So if I right click and go to fast loop, and I want to start loop, and I'm going to use the camel case as well, check movement. Oh. Keyboard is awful. Look, it doesn't even do that. Okay, movement. Okay, and copy that because I'll need to use it later. Now this is going to be strange. I'm only going to do one loop. Okay, so it does this loop. Now if I right click on new condition, and I can say on loop, and if I paste in the name of the loop, and then what I'm going to do is drag this down. So when the right hand arrow is placed and it's not moving already, then this will fire, and this will start the loop check movement 1 time, and then on loop check movement, and it will actually go ahead and move it. So if I run it now, it shouldn't be any different. So let's see if this is any different. Hopefully it's not. No, it's exactly the same. Well, you might say, why have we done that? Okay, bear with me on this. So instead of just going through it straight away, I'm just going to click on that and press Ctrl and C and Ctrl V and copy it. What we can do here is do a condition. So if I right click and insert, and let's just make it 1 up so I can show you. If 1 is equal to 2, actually let's just say if 1 equals 1. Okay, so that will always be true. Then I want to stop the fast loop. So stop loop, and what is it? Check movement. So we're going to have a condition here, and if it's true, which it is, because 1 does equal 1, then it's going to stop that check movement. So if I run it, run application, and it works fine. Okay, so what's happening here? So it's stopped check movement. Normally I check to see if I've spelt it right. Let's just copy and paste it just in case. And I think I know what's happening, but let's go ahead and try it again. Okay. Now, what I think is happening is that, yes, it stopped the loop, but it hasn't resolved this. This just starts again. So I need to reset those back to 0. That's what I need to do. So move x equals 0, and then move y equals 0. So it stops it firing. And thankfully, if I move along, it doesn't do anything now. So it's completely blocked it off. So every time I press it down, it starts that loop, and then that loop just stops because 1 does equal 1. However, if I just quickly change it, so if 1 is equal to 2, run application, let's just move it across, then 1 doesn't equal 2, so that doesn't fire and it lets me go ahead. Now there's loads of different ways I can do this, but basically the reason I like loops is they allow us just to go down, check a whole load of stuff, and only if all of that stuff is fine, then it will fire. And it stops us having to have loads of conditions just on one line, which is not a good thing. Makes it very difficult to maintain the code. So let's go back to this. We obviously don't want 1 equals 1 and 1 equals 2, so we need the condition there to check on our array whether the next tile is a C tile or whether it's not a C tile. Now if you remember from way back, we know that all C tiles are 1 and all land tiles are 0. So I mean, you can open up the thing that we did before. I'll quickly open that up now, and so we can just double check this. So if I open, where's it, episode 8? Need to remember that it's a number array. Okay, so all C tiles are 1s and all land tiles are 0s. So we need to check to see whether the next one along, whichever direction we're going, is a 0, okay, or not a 1. So we need it here to check the array. Now this is not going to be easy, but life is not easy. So we want to compare two general values. Now I want to compare the array, and we're going to read the value from x, y and z. Remember, we used a 3-dimensional array, but the z is just a 0 at the moment. Remember, our array is 0 indexed, so 0 is the first one in each array. You need to check the x and the y, and we want it, if it's equal to 1. If it's a C tile, then we want to stop the movement. Now the x and the y are going to be interesting. Okay, at the moment let's just put them as 0, so it allows me to close this down. This won't close if the condition doesn't make sense. It stops us from having broken code. Okay, whilst on normal programming languages, it will let you write whatever you want, and it won't ever check it unless you've got a really great program that's helping you out. It will just let it run and let your program crash. This is why I like Clickteam, so I don't have to worry about it. So that's fine. Now, one of the things is that if I load up the game, in fact, let's load up that sort of Excel style grid. Say if my player's here, okay, and I'm going to check to see whether, and he wants to move up, I'm going to check to see if that's a 1. Well, there's a couple of things that I need to know. I need to know where the player is in relation to the array, and that's something that at the moment I don't know. I don't know which tile the player is in, so I need to work that out. Now I could work it out from the Y and X position, but there's a much easier way of doing it, which we're going to do first. So let's do that first. Okay, so I'm going to start a frame. Now I'm going to go back to the frame editor, click on him, and where am I? I'm going to add another alterable value, and current tile X. That'll tell me what current tile he is. Current tile Y. And we're going to start off with them being 1 and 1. And you can just set the values here, which is really great, that you can just set them there. So they're going to start at 1. So if I run it now, you can see that our player is in, this is 0, 0, so this will be 1, 1. Okay. And every time the player moves, I need to update that. So if he's going right, I need to then update that. So I'm going to right click and just say alterable value, and I'm going to set it current tile X. I'm just going to say it's the current tile X plus 1 because he's moving right. Okay, now I'm going to show you how to copy this condition. So if you want to copy this condition, double click on it and press Ctrl and C, and go back to the event editor, and if I click on that and then press Ctrl and V to paste it, it's there. But this time I want it to take away 1. Now a different way I could do that, I'm going to do it a different way on this one. It's alterable value and subtract to and add to. The reason I don't do that is I find it confusing that in the old Click and Play, in the old Multimedia Fusion, it just had add to, which was really simple because you just added -3 to it to subtract 3. But I find that confusing, so I just find it easier to set the things by finding out what they are currently and just subtracting something away from that. So that one is going to be moving up, so we're going to take away 1. Again, I'm going to double click that, press Ctrl and C to copy it, and then just click on that once, Ctrl and V, and it pastes it in. But I'm just going to double click on it to just press add. You can do all this with right clicking and edit, but it's much easier just to double click and double click. Okay, now I'm going to show you something else as well Clickteam does really well. Is how do I know that that works? Well, Clickteam amazingly has this feature. It allows you, and I'm going to click on add, so this comes up every time you run the application. If you click on this button, it shows you a little bit more. If you click on this button, you can add an object to it to view. So I think our player is called active. Okay, so our player is there, and if I click on alterable values, it will show us the alterable values. Now the reason it's flickering, I don't know how bad it's flickering on the video, is because it's constantly updating. So if I click on the thing again and I press down, oh no, nothing happens. Why does nothing happen? Because it does equal 1 numpty. Let's close that, and what I want to do is equal to 10. Oh, right, run application. And notice it still remembers the active that I was looking at. And let's click down. Now it says current tile Y33. It's just adding a whole load on each time, which I don't want. So it's dead easy to fix. Clearly I don't want that, because it's doing that every single movement time, isn't it? So I don't want that. Oh, where should I do it? Okay, let's delete all of those. Oh, don't you hate that? You've got to delete all your hard work. And there's a lot easier way of doing it. Okay, so if I'm successful, I'm going to set the alterable value of current tile X to whatever the current tile X is. Values current tile X plus, and then I'm going to use the move X thing, and I'm going to just do that again, Control and C, Control and V for the Y, tile Y, move Y, and then I'm just going to move these above where it resets it to 0, otherwise I won't ever add anything to it. So it's going to add on that 1 or the -1, add on the 1 or the -1 for the up and down. Okay, remember they're 0 if they're going, if we're going left and right, the Y will be 0, so it just won't change it. And that's only going to fire once, so that's going to hopefully work. Let's run the application. Okay, this is the beauty of testing these things. Okay, let's move down. There we go. So the Y is 2, so it's 0, 1, 0, 1, 2, 3, 2, 2, 1. Brilliant. That's working brilliantly. And normally I just play around with the keyboard and return back to base, and it's 1, 1. Okay, fantastic. Oh, wow. Okay, so we've got the current position, but now we need to be clever and we need to compare that to what's next on the array. So let's have a look at that. Okie dokie. So we want to use the player's X position there. So we're going to values and the current tile X, and we're going to use the current tile Y. So values, current tile Y. Now that's the player's current position, but what we want to do is add on where they intend to move. So add the current tile X, which is either 1 or -1. If it's -1, it will take away, because plus minus in maths makes a minus. If you remember back to doing maths at school. And values, and then current tile Y. Okay, and if it's equal to 1, we don't want the movement. So that looks pretty complicated, okay, but let's see if it works. This is moment of truth here, so moment of truth. Okay, so if I go down it should let me, and it does let me. Fantastic. If I go right it should let me, and it does. If I go right again it should be fine. No, it won't let me go right. It won't let me do anything. Oh no, I'm locked out. Let's refresh. Now let's try up. It lets me go up, but it won't let me go up, down, left, right. So there's something kooky going on here. Okay, so let's check the alterable value. That all looks fine. And if I go down, all looks fine. That's suspicious. Okay, so there's clearly something going wrong there, which is fine. Okay, so let's double click on it and check it. So if the current tile X plus the current tile X, what a numpty. What an idiot. Why am I adding the current tile X? It doesn't even make sense. The move X. Oh, some of you are probably shouting at YouTube. No, that's not the right one. Okay, let's see if this works now. So moment of truth now, take 2, which hopefully it will be a proper moment of truth where I won't get this wrong. Although I have promised you that I will make loads of mistakes. So, moving down, yes, I can move down. Moving right, yes, I can move right. Moving right again, yes, I can move right again. Moment of truth, won't let me go up or right, but it will let me go down. And let's hold it down, let's check it, let's hold it left, let's hold it right, let's scroll all the way down, and let's try and find a hidden passage in this water. No. Oh, it lets me go off the screen, which we know because we haven't really dealt with that yet. That's perfect. Absolutely perfect. I'd never actually thought we'd get there with this. But the way we've coded it, the way we've set it up, is it can't go into the sea. It's constantly checking it before you've done a movement. And don't forget what I said, that actually we could have had this tile move left and let Clickteam do the collision detection with it, but then we would end up at the side of the tile, which we don't want. We want the character always be in the centre of a tile, so that when we do roads and things, the character's not sort of halfway on, halfway off. Just also looks just a little bit more professional. Right, that is me done. I never thought I'd get that done so quickly. Okay, you're probably thinking, actually that was quite a long video, but c'est la vie. Thank you very much for watching. If you liked this, please click like. If you want to see more from me, please click subscribe. Thank you very much.